Hey everybody, welcome to All Things Crypto, where every Wednesday, 8:30, we talk about cryptocurrency. And we talk about all things crypto. So I got some drama this week because I was trying to look up some news stories or what have you, but maybe I'll look up that later. So on Facebook, they were so mad. I mean, they were DMing me. They were so mad at me. So El Salvador, as you know, bought Bitcoin, I think in January of 2022. What's up, big gang James? .9461. So they bought Bitcoin around 36,000 in 2022. So there's been a lot of negativity about crypto in the news lately, of course, because Bitcoin is really low. But as we know, for those of us who are in the crypto game, we know this is normal, this is par for course. But a lot of people really don't know, and it reminds me of like the whole kind of like when you're hot, and everybody wants to jump on the bandwagon. And then when you're not hot, everybody wants to like say things, and say, oh, you're never going to make it, or, whatever. So El Salvador bought Bitcoin at about 36K, I believe, in January, right? So there was this news article on ABC News, I think, or something, and it was just saying that like, oh, well, El Salvador really made a big mistake, and, this is just terrible. And I'm like, they didn't make a big mistake. Like, they just have to wait it out. And everybody was, I was like, their currency before was trash. And of course, I guess it was the dollar before, but it was trash. Like, their money was so diluted, and they were in a huge mess, and they used Bitcoin to climb out. They've only used 4% of their reserves to buy Bitcoin, and they just recently bought the dip. So they just bought, I think, 80 more Bitcoins. No, 80,000 more Bitcoins or something like that. The IMF is refusing to help them. They asked the IMF if they could use the loan to buy Bitcoin. If the IMF is refusing to give them a loan to buy Bitcoin. And the IMF said that they wouldn't give them a loan if they continue to buy Bitcoin. So all these old, mainly white people, especially men, just came at me and were like, you don't know anything about economics, you're stupid. I mean, they were in my DMs just acting crazy. And I wanted to be, I didn't want to be mean, so I didn't say that, but I wanted to be like, y'all are just old and out of touch, and you really don't understand finances. But what I really think is that they were just angry that some Black woman thought she may know better than them and the news article about something financial. And, and so like literally I wrote this, I think like yesterday morning, like early morning, and these people are literally still commenting on trying to get me, like they've called me psychotic, all these different names. Like, it's just crazy how like, and I'm like, you guys are really so clueless, and you want to say like, oh, you're super clueless, you don't know what you're talking about. But after a certain amount of time, after 100, because I think there's like 300 comments on this post that I wrote at this point.
That's what's up.
I've got
Haters
like
the new love, you know what I mean?
something likes though.
Talk about.
Huh?
Haters the new love. I love it.
And so I'm like, first of all, I'm like, yo, these people are really psychopathic. And so like, I'm just like, you guys are like crazy, like seriously crazy, like fail. Like they want them to fail. And I said, you guys are worried about El Salvador losing 63% of their value. But we all know, anybody knows the stocks or anything like that. If you don't sell, because they said, well, how, they've lost money. I'm saying if they don't sell, we don't know their plan. We don't know if they've lost money. Because if in 2 years they never sell and Bitcoin goes to 50,000, then they've made money. They will not lose until they sell, right? And I said, we need to worry more about the value of stocks in America that has gone down by trillions. Like literally America has lost trillions of money, American people, in the stock market because in terms of value. But we're worried about El Salvador in their millions. And that's the crazy thing about America. White supremacy is so messed up, like in the head, like so freaking crazy. And people are like, oh my God, all these mass shooters. I'm like, I'm sorry. This is terrible and it's disgusting, but it's the chickens coming home to roost. It is the chickens coming home to roost. And that doesn't mean I want this to happen. That doesn't mean I'm like, oh, this is great. I don't think that. I think this is terrible and it's horrible. However, I also know that when you don't address your sicknesses and your problems as a culture, it's going to manifest itself eventually on each other. So it's just gotten to a point and where it has run its course on just, it's still running its course on just brown and black people and on women. And now it's coming to your affluent neighborhoods and you guys are freaking out. But this is a problem that has been created since America was started. So that's a whole nother conversation. So they were just going crazy. And I was just like, wow, they really don't understand cost dollar averaging. They don't understand like buy and hold strategy. This dude was like, one dude said, he was like, oh, well, you know, they're gonna have to pay their loans in the next year. What are they gonna tell their debt collectors? I'm like, this is a country, okay? This is not you borrowing money from Cabbage or Fundera. This is a country. They don't have loans that are due in 1 year typically. They have loans that are due in 25 years, 50 years, 100 years, maybe 10. It's just but the thing that they really think they know, and they really think they know because they cannot ascertain that a black woman would know more than them. But they're such idiots in a lot of ways, and they may not be idiots in other aspects of their lives, but in this area, and they're just, and the group think just emboldens them. It's just really like, wow, like it's kind of frustrating because you're like, you really have no clue what you're talking about, but you all are going so hard, like so hard on this, like DMing me, like the same person DMing me 2 days straight and I haven't responded. It's just, what is going on? Are we like are people just mental basket cases? What's up, Moo? You guys let me know what's up with this. It's just crazy. Hey, Monray, what's up? Hey,
Monray.
Hey, Rishmod. Hey, Williams.
Talib Kweli said, I don't have time to teach a racist not to be a racist. I got more important work to do. So it's okay. You know what I'm saying? You can't teach these people. Got more important work to do. See, they always block her and kick her out of the room. I don't know why. It is what it is. But yeah, I wouldn't stress none of that. You know what I'm saying? I love it that we're just learning this new technology, this new thing. They would have said the same thing with Amazon. They said the same thing with Apple. So they're saying the same thing with Bitcoin and blockchain. So it is what it is. Let me see if I can get Krypto K back in the building. In the digital building. But yeah, so ain't no stress. Hold up 1 second, y'all. Let me bang bang. Yeah, but nah, it's all good. It's all good, baby. And to piggyback on what you said, 44 central banks met in El Salvador to talk about how to make Bitcoin their reserve currency. So it's popping right now, man. Ain't nobody telling us the game. They just lie, yo. When the game's about to pop, they be like, go left. Meanwhile, they going right. Then when the game pop, they be like, yo, y'all didn't know y'all had a chance. So we ain't falling for the banana in the tailpipe. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get our crypto up. We're going to get our Bitcoin up. And we already know it's popping. You know, China banned mining, but you think China has zero Bitcoin? If you do, it's ridiculous. U.S., you think they got zero Bitcoin?
Well, that's the only way they can try to control it is through mining. But then I think the gentleman who came on like 2 weeks ago, he was explaining to us that like you can mine from your phone now. So like, I mean, if everybody decided to just mine from their phones, why not? If you're not really using, if you got your phone all day and you just want to make a couple dollars for just letting your phone sit, you know? So Jorge says crypto is the new world order.
Word up. Crypto is the new world order they didn't plan for. Exactly. They terrified. They had their new world order. Now, the collapse of 2008 made Satoshi Nakamoto invent Bitcoin, and the world's changed forever. And they are terrified that we're going to have any power. So everything you have is lies. That's why I tell your friends to tell a friend to tune into us. Let's talk some crypto, and we're just going to talk about what's real, man. Because listen, we could have been making money in stocks. Forget about Bitcoin and crypto. They never taught us the game about nothing.
No, they didn't. Nothing.
So now this game popping. Of course, like when Bitcoin was 60,000, you ain't hit nothing. Not a peep.
And they
when
got
Bitcoin
mad
was 20,000, they was like, "Yo, the whole Bitcoin thing is collapsing." that's normal, like it's supposed to, and it's not collapsing. Bitcoin from 2009 to now is up like 10 million%. You know what I'm saying? So come on, great investment. But they be lying. Our masters always have lied to us anyway, yo. That's what I'm saying. That's why you mad, because they think a woman of color don't know nothing. Because remember,
Well,
when the
I think they
Constitution
get
was
even
written,
madder when you do, because I said, well, I'm sorry, y'all, I made money in Bitcoin, and they just got even madder. You know what I'm saying? I was like, well, I think you haven't made any money. And then they started lying, said, how do you know I haven't made money? I made money. I'm like, I can tell you haven't made any money. Like, and then they get
yeah,
mad. This one dude was like, he said to me too, he was like, well, what if you would have bought Bitcoin 2 years ago? And what would it be worth now? I said, it's a
all of them in the
250%
building,
markup
Nash
from
in the
2 years
building,
ago.
in the
Like,
building.
I was like, yo, it's a 250% markup if I bought it 2 years ago.
Exactly,
Like, what are you
exactly.
talking about? Like, and I did. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, and then he got angry about that. It's like, y'all have to just don't listen to the news stories. Do your own research, because something is, I don't know, people really have a visceral reaction towards crypto, especially Bitcoin, which is
We're
weird to
also,
me.
remember, we're a country divided also. What up, Godchild? We're a country divided. So that's another thing. And remember,
Mhm.
when the Constitution was written, it wasn't written for black people and it wasn't written for white women. So now you're a black woman talking that talk. They not ready for that. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to hear it.
But why don't they
So
just keep scrolling? You know what I'm saying? It was one comment out of thousands. Like,
nah, you power. That's that power, yo. You know what I mean?
just keep scrolling.
Words of power, yo.
You know
Word
what I'm
up.
saying? Like, just
Word.
keep
Monterey,
scrolling.
like we was only 3/5. Word up, man. What did she say? Oh, she said if I was a fifth, we'd be drunk. I thought she said we was 3/5.
I
She's
can't
like, I'm
read the
having a
comments,
fifth.
y'all. Like, I hate that I
Well,
can't see the comments.
if was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. Word up. Well, I
Yeah,
might not be drunk. I could probably do more than a fifth, Monterey.
it was crazy. I
You
need
know
to
what I
get
mean?
drunk. Moo, you need to come to the ATL so we could just get lit, because I haven't gotten
So,
drunk
I,
in so
so, so
long.
I could get banned too, get searched at the airport. You know what I'm saying? You gotta relax, man. Let's
So
meet in North Carolina.
for
My
you,
man got a spot in Raleigh.
for you guys that are joining, I'm just gonna say this: I have made money in Bitcoin and I have lost money in Bitcoin, but I have made more than I lost. And the only reason I lost are three reasons, I'll say. One is because I listened to somebody, but but I listened to somebody, but that was because they had made me money before. So that's just part of the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The second thing is, why did I lose? Because I was taking risk crypto and like new platforms like Nexo and Celsius, and I was in KuCoin. So because it was such a new industry, I had to pay to make, like, it's a learning curve, and you pay for your learning curves. You know what I'm saying? Especially in a new industry that people don't know about. So I was taking risks. But I will say that one of my biggest risks that I was so mad, I was kicking myself about, was that I had leveraged my Bitcoin for a loan. And I got the loan, and the loan worked out for me. So honestly, I'm like, I lost, but I kind of didn't lose because the investment paid off. But I was just mad. So, those are the things.
Jorge said it best. You got to learn from your own experience. We just want to experience this whole thing
Mhm.
because we're going to be the experts soon. When this joint is like 20 more
Yeah,
years
that's
old,
true.
we're going to know everything because we're going to see from the beginning, from the rooter to the tutor, just how they
Mhm.
manipulating everything in line right now. So yeah, man, that's what's up.
So what I'll
You do
say,
do an intro though. Do an intro or something, man.
okay, this is all things crypto, and we talk about all things crypto every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Usually it's on my live, but I'm blocked from my live right now, which is typical because I'm always making people upset because I'm unapologetic about the truth.
And you're a
And
black woman in America.
yeah, I'm into Bitcoin. I can be kind of conservative sometimes, and then I can be radical other times. So just know I'm pissing everybody off. If you're Republican, I piss you off. If you're a Democrat, I piss you off. If you're independent, probably not, but that's
It
that.
pisses me off too. It's not a problem. Plus you do.
So it's all things crypto. With me, Nem Superstar, aka Krypto K, and my co-host Mu Gutter. And we basically give free information about crypto. We encourage you to ask any questions that you have about crypto so we can share our knowledge with you. We are not perfect. This is a new industry, and we are not financial advisors, but we can certainly give you a lot of information for free that you will not get anywhere else for free. And even I've noticed that people are going to charge you for stuff they don't even understand. So Moose, do you want to say anything or what's that?
Nah, just kidding. Shout out to BB Mac. XRP. I'm a big believer in. Buy now. I'm not a financial advisor. This is for entertainment, educational purposes only. But buy now and sell at $10. Definitely sell at $5. I think XRP beat the SEC case, and you could sell that joint $5 and make a nice profit. So yeah, that's what I would say. And I will also probably only leverage. I will leverage less than 30% also, but 30% ain't terrible either. Just shout out to BB Mac.
I can't see any of the comments, but
So okay, let me ask you a question. Walkathons, do you think about Crowcoin? That's from Grill Paid Off. Crowcoin, is that?
I think I have Crow. So I have so many coins at this point. I think I have Crow. I right now I'm not like any coins or whatever. I'm just gonna be honest. Everything is so low right now that if you buy pretty much any coin, once Bitcoin goes up, it's going to go up with Bitcoin unless it's just a horrible coin or your developer does a rug pull. Oh, that's another way. Another way I lost money in crypto is rug pulls. I've lost most of my money in crypto through
rug pulls. Yeah, the rug pulls is real.
What a rug pull means is that you have developers or the creators. Or do you want to explain what a rug pull is, Moo? Or are you good?
Nah, you go ahead.
Okay. So a rug pull is when so the team who creates the coin or the platform, they just can't take it. They make so much money on whatever coin or platform, whatever. And what they do is they just take all the money and they run. And they just pull the rug, they run. And now the coin has no team. Because now they're millionaires and they're probably living in Fiji, sipping on wine. And so so that's what a rug pull is. It's like you invest in a coin, you think the coin is gonna do great. It starts pumping, and pumping means it's going up, up, up. And then what happens, they get so freaking rich and they see all this money. They take all your money that you invest in the coin and they leave and that's it. They never come back. They're not developing the coin anymore. So I've lost a lot of money in rug pull too, but I've made more money than I've lost. And in Bitcoin, the way I make money is I buy the dip and I hold until it goes back up. That's pretty much how you make money in this industry. You buy the dips when it's low. The lower, the better. And then you just sit on it and wait. And sometimes it's a year or two. Sometimes it's 3 years. Sometimes it's 6 months. So just buy your dips and holds. Day traders, I could make money doing day trade. For example, and I'll keep this short because I am a talker. So like, for example.
It's just so, it's okay.
No, but still you want to answer people's questions and I want them to hear, we need balanced male, female perspectives. So in any case, so for example, and Moo can attest to this, and anybody who holds crypto, or my crypto can attest to this. I will see my crypto fluctuate by $500, $1,000, sometimes $2,000 over the course of a few days. And that's because Bitcoin is going up and down and all my coins are going up and down with it. So if you want to day trade and you want to make a certain amount of money, then you buy when it's low and you just sell it when it's high. That's just pretty much it. So if you know Bitcoin is at 19,000 right now, you would scoop that up, right? And then you'd wait till Bitcoin boosts to 21,000. You buy a couple of altcoins when it's down as well. Like when it's 19,000, you buy Bitcoin and a couple of altcoins. And then you buy it when it's low. And then Bitcoin maybe boosts up to 20 or 21,000 in 2 days. And now your $100 investment is now worth $120. And then if your gas fees aren't super high, which gas fees are what it costs to trade crypto, then you just sell it and you make your money that way. So that's how day traders do. I don't do that, but that's how it will happen. All right, Moo, take it away.
Yeah, so the rug pull is like when my boys used to sell sheetrock instead of crack. You're going to buy $1,000 worth of sheetrock, and when your people come buy it from you, they don't get high. That's what they be doing with them rug pulls. They just make a coin up and then they rock. So Godchild actually made a lot of money in the Squid Game coin rug pull.
Oh yeah.
So Godchild's in and out probably. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they probably if he was selling that crack or sheetrock, they'd be looking for him because it's all digital and they don't even know where he's at. He got away with it. Jorge, yes, he said we should do a crypto pool. Start with 20 people to start and see how. Just out the box is just an idea. We're actually trying to do that right now to start a investment club with cryptocurrency, so we can afford to buy basically the metaverse land anyway. So we definitely want to do that, Jorge. Great idea. We should do it. I want to do it like a Susu and do it to buy metaverse property, because the cheapest metaverse property I found recently that I would buy is like $10,000, and that's only for like not that much land at all. So
I feel like,
yeah, you know what I mean.
well, we need to put a store on the metaverse, but like our all things crypto store or something. But would you want to do it in a DAO form, like DAO, decentralized? What's
Absolutely,
decentralized?
got to,
Hmm?
got to, got to do a day DAO. Got to do a DAO. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good idea.
For those of you who don't know what the DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization. Basically, people like us can get together. We're in different places, but we're doing it all on the internet, all online, and we actually have a smart contract, which is why Ethereum pops, because Ethereum is the inventor of the smart contract, basically. And we all just agree on what we're going to do. So say we invest money in this DAO in order to buy metaverse land, then we all have a vote. And then if the popular vote wins, then we'll buy whatever, like in Sandbox with Snoop. We'll try to get a spot close to Snoop Dogg in Sandbox. And then that DAO, if it pops off, we all make money. And like Krypto K just said, if we actually build something there where people can buy virtual goods, we all get a piece of the virtual goods. And it's all smart contract. We don't trust doesn't matter at that point. It's all a digital smart contract, which changes the game forever. And that's why they're afraid too of this whole movement. The movement ain't just about Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. It's about these smart contracts and everything else that they can't control. It's decentralized. So yeah, definitely let's do the DAO. I want y'all to look up DAO, though, DAO, Decentralized Autonomous Organizations. That's what we want to form. You know what I mean? I got a couple of people I'm talking to now forming some stuff because they're trying to do something with the medical field. There's a bunch of doctors and all that trying to do their own DAO because they have a creation that can like cure a couple of diseases that can't get approved right now by the FDA and all of that. So they just, they're like, let's do it digitally while this technology is still new. So yes, yes, definitely. That's all I'm gonna say because Nim keeps getting banned. I'm not trying to get banned. You know what I'm saying? She likes getting banned. She's into that. You know what I mean?
I'm not into it, but I just am so unapologetic, and I'm so unapologetic about like what I think. And they said it's because, so it's interesting because like I'm all on this mental health thing, like trying to work on myself, personal development, and all these different things. And so they said that the reason why people tend to be very blunt and very direct and unapologetic is because the little girl inside wasn't heard when they're growing up. And I'm like, well, that's absolutely true. But I really want to know how many young women of color were really heard growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, really, were they really, really heard? Or, I even see my daughter, I have to advocate for her now. Like, and she's a pretty strong personality, but I still have to advocate and make sure she gets recognized by people.
I think all of us black people were hurt because we were all taught that we couldn't be the next level of things. So when you see Jay-Z make it, you'd be like, yo, okay, Jay did it, so yes, I can do it now. You know what I mean? So we got to see stuff like that. But then on the same token, we're like, I think Jay sold out a little bit, though. I think Beyonce sold out. You know what I mean? Maybe they did sell out, but at least it's that thing, like Michelle Obama. It's like that thing that be like, okay, we can do it. And we've been taught, like, this is the first black people. Clarence Thomas, that Oreo cookie on the Supreme Court, is one of our top black people in the universe, and he might as well be white and working for the devil himself. So now we finally got people that came from the streets like us that could do it. So yeah, I think we all been oppressed in that way, not saying that we could do it. Because like, once again, I earlier said the Constitution was written by white men, not for black people and not for white women. So of course, mentally we all fucked up. And that's what they scared of too. This financial revolution that's going on right now, they're terrified. You know what I mean?
I feel like I agree with that. And I feel like, you know what? I think that, I definitely wasn't heard as a little girl, and but I feel like at the end of the day, though, you may not like what I have to say, but you hear me, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, you heard me. And a lot of young, I think women of color in general and women just are not heard in general. You know what I'm saying? But you're going to hear me. You may not like it and you're upset about it, but you heard me, though. I mean, like, that's the thing. They hear me. So I think that's maybe the problem, is that like I'm not afraid to be heard unapologetically. But I was gonna say another thing about
then they try to put you in check by banning you, because you ain't say nothing that bad that you should get banned, right?
Oh, the truth.
You know what I mean? You said truth.
That's
your truth. Like Trump, it took forever to ban Trump. Yeah, you know what I mean? Trump set off January 6th, and they were like, he might have not did it.
That's true. I was gonna say though, what I think is really important in your financial journey, and I'm working on this too, is
what up, Michi?
trauma, like we have a lot of triggers. A lot of times, like, I realize people are like, oh, Black women and Black people, you know, do this, do that. And I realize we have a lot of triggers because we have so much trauma. And so what we need to do while we're on our financial journey, because they will use anything that they did to us to be able to take it away. So, like, if we allow our triggers to manifest themselves in a normal way, because we have been triggered our whole lives and traumatized our whole lives, then they'll take it away, or it'll be taken away from you. So I want to use this as a cautionary tale. I was using this person that was helpful for me in another city because I needed help in this other city to get things done, and they were making pretty good money. We talked about something, and I was like, hey, you want me off of this platform, and now I'm taking a bigger risk. So can you, I was like, so can we either need to go down on the price or we need to go back to the platform? And the person was like, well, let's go back to the platform then. I was like, cool. They knew I was about to put in a job. When I went back to the platform to put in the job, they had upped their price, right? I had used them several times, and I had planned to use them several more times. I wrote them. I said, why did you go up on your price when we agreed that we were just going to do that? And now I'm going to use somebody else. I didn't say that, but it's like, and that person was Black or whatever. And my point of us is that we always do shit like that. We always shoot ourselves in the foot over and over again because we have these triggers and traumas. I don't know what was going through that person's head, why they felt the need to get greedy. I don't know if it's like they're like, I don't know if I'll see money again, but I plan to use that person consistently. So they just lost out on so much more money worrying about $10
You
more.
Lost one.
And then
what a bum.
A community. Like, and it's because we have these triggers and traumas, and we are always just self-sabotaging. And so these are things we just got to work through as we work on our journey with crypto and financing, because we don't want to get ourselves where we have money and we lose it because we make these decisions based off of our traumas and triggers. Okay. So please start recognizing your triggers, the things that make you go off. That's just your trigger. Whatever makes you go off is your trigger. Whatever makes you snap at somebody is a trigger. If you snapping all day, you have a lot of triggers, which means that you have a lot of trauma. So I'm working through mine. You work through yours, so we can make this money. And emotional intelligence and stability helps you keep your money and grow it. If you are constantly losing money or you can't keep your money, then that says something about an emotional intelligence or what have you that we need to work through. So that's it. Okay, Move. That's all. That's my little.
Yeah, that's real because like my women, my concubine, they all know how to push my button. You know what I'm saying? They know how to push this little button, push the little button, push it.
You should be saying concubine, but go ahead. Yeah.
Come on, I'm a king from Africa.
Okay. All right.
That's plutonic though. I don't have sex with any of them. I just got 8 million. 8 million women.
I'm like, don't get in trouble, Move. Like, don't get in trouble.
I'm just playing. I'm just playing. But everybody knows, like, your significant other can always push your button. So it's amazing when, like, a stranger pushes your same button. That's that trauma you're talking about. That's real talk. You know what I mean?
And then
the
thing about crypto, like, you don't want to sell because you're in the survivor's mentality. Mindset, like, oh, I got to sell now because I don't know if I have it later. If you can't hold your money in a platform for a certain amount of time, if it's $20 and you can't manage your money, like if you can't hold it, like Bitcoin for more than 6 months and it's like $20, that's something going on with your trauma. That's a fear. That's something that you got to work through, because in order to make money, you gotta get this right.
Yeah. Please, everybody, say crypto next 10 years. Anything you buy, not anything. Most stuff you buy, save it for 10 years. 10 years are key because the halving is going to happen in 2024. So that's 2 years. Then another halving in 2028 and another halving in 2032. The cryptocurrency by 2032 is going to be popping. So please, just invest stuff you're just going to hold for 10 years. That's how we beat this game. If you'd have brought Amazon in 1997 for $18, it's worth $2,400 right now. And they just split the stock in 20. So now they split the stock because that's a whole nother story. But it got up to $2,400. If you'd have brought it in 1997 for $18, in 2022, it would be $2,400 for an $18 investment. That's how we feel about Bitcoin. I vouch for no other coin except Bitcoin. So I'm going to tell you some other stuff I would like y'all to buy and then sell and day trade, blah, 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 blah. But please, this is a 10-year game, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you buy a house, you don't buy a house
It,
5 years, you buy it for 30.
I support
You know what I mean?
that move in that, but I will say if you invest in Bitcoin in 2024 and the halving comes and you want to take a little 5K, the only thing I would say is if you take your money, your profits, try to reinvest it. So like, let's say 2024 comes, Bitcoin goes to 100,000, right? And you had like 10% of Bitcoin. So now you have a certain amount. If you have another investment, yes, this is where we diverge a little bit. Take a little bit of that profit and then reinvest it. Cause that's what I did. Like I might take it and then I'll reinvest it in something that's going to give me more profit. So, you know, even if you want to take it for a little vacation, okay, cool. But just don't take all of it and don't take most of it. Like give yourself, say, I'm going to take 20% of profits or 10% of profits or what have you, if it jumps. Now, if you want to hold it for 10 years, you could do that. Definitely do that. I'm just saying that's where me and Mood diverge a little bit. I will hold until the next halving. If it pops, I might take a little bit and reinvest it. Or I might hold it. I'm not sure yet. That's it. That's all I want to say, Mood.
Now that's what's up. A lot of people say you can never lose if you take profit. So, you know, my only argument is that this is supposed to be a store of value like gold. So if it's a store of value like gold, yeah, people sold gold too. So, you know, what are you going to do? Sometimes you got to sell. If you want to buy a house, yeah, you can sell your Bitcoin to buy a house. I wouldn't sell your Bitcoin to go on a vacation though, like that. You know what I mean? I would do something, get my cousin out of jail, buy a house, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, you can take a loan and do the same thing. That's the thing with the Bitcoin thing. Like, you don't have to sell it out, take a loan against it and flip it. So that's it, though. You know what I mean? But y'all make your own decisions. Like I said, this is not financial advice. It's just for education. It's for entertainment. It's to have fun and hang out with you guys. We just learning as we go, and y'all are learning, and we just want to have this community where we can, you know, do what we do. So, yeah. I ain't mad at no decisions but don't be scared. The only decision I'm mad at is when everything goes low and everybody's scared. No, don't be scared. This time to buy. This is it. You be happy. Thank God. Y'all acting like Bitcoin gonna go to zero. If Bitcoin go to zero, let's say you spent $1,000 and Bitcoin go to zero. This is a hell of a bet, right? But let's say Bitcoin don't go to zero and goes to 10 million and you spent $1,000. Like this is worth the risk, period. And it's not really a risk, just like stocks ain't a risk. Like Apple ain't going to zero tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, these semiconductor chips ain't going to zero tomorrow.
Okay, Moods, share, because the countries I know that have Bitcoin as their legal tender right now is El Salvador. I think Russia reverses
it's
decision.
Central Africa Republic and El Salvador.
But you can use Bitcoin in Ukraine.
Yeah, no, Bitcoin you can.
No, I'm saying I think it's legal. I think it's legal tender in Ukraine as well.
I ain't hear that one. No, it's not legal tender in Ukraine because Ukraine is a war-torn country. They got problems. Yeah. But people in Ukraine will accept it, just like people around the world will accept it.
Because you know me,
when the government passes it as a legal tender, it's different. Ukraine don't even know they're going to last. Ukraine might be the USSR in like 3 days. You don't know.
Russia legalized it as legal tender, but I think they reversed it once they.
It's there because it's not legal. It's not recognized as legal tender except in El Salvador and the Central Africa Republic. That's it.
So the reason why I'm saying that, y'all, is that like at the end of the day, you can still use Bitcoin in other countries. You know what I'm saying? So like,
I can give you Bitcoin right now for your car. I'll be like, hey, I'm gonna give you one Bitcoin for your car. And you would take it and sell me your car. So that's all it is. That's all.
You can buy a plane ticket. You can buy go online. You can buy plane tickets with Bitcoin. I like Bitcoin because let me say, let's say the country falls apart. I still have another currency that I could use. You know what I'm saying? And that's actually why I first started doing Bitcoin. My ex-boyfriend at the time, he told me to get into Bitcoin a long time ago. And I was like, okay, I need another currency. And I really don't know how to get into other currencies. So I'll just try this. And I just wanted another currency. And that's the thing, too. Like, look at it as another currency that you can use if the U.S. dollar goes to nothing or if it just gets crazy.
It was only invented because of the collapse of 2008 when banks were too big to fail. They changed nothing. Barack Obama just put a lot of money into the economy and kept it going. So some people invented Bitcoin because they know the banks suck. And that's it. And now we're our own banks. You know what I'm saying? If you have cryptocurrency and know how to maneuver as such. It is a difficult transition, but that's why it was invented. It would have never been invented if they didn't fuck up to begin with and make banks too big to fail. And Enron and Lehman Brothers and all of them. The list goes on and on and on. That's the only reason it was invented. So now we accept it. Like if you tell me, Moo, I want to you to fix my roof and I'm going to give you a third of one Bitcoin. Okay, I'll take it and I'll fix your roof. That's what it is. It's peer to peer. Now the government is going to try to regulate it, which means they're going to be all in your pockets. They're going to be all in the video. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it is because they want their cut. And the thing is, when the government wants their cut of taxes, like the dollar, the U.S. dollar or any dollar, the government prints and then the government puts out there, right? Bitcoin ain't none of their business, or cryptocurrency ain't none of their business. They still want to cut because they nasty motherfuckers. That's the bottom line. How you gonna get a cut of something that like me and Krypto K invented it? Now y'all coming in because it popped off and want to cut? Nah, we good. Because right now, if I got 12 mangoes and Krypto K got 12 watermelons, and we just trade and barter, y'all not in that. But once they call it money is involved, now y'all want to cut. Because that means every time I give her 12 watermelons and she give me 12 tomatoes, I should give the government 1 tomato and she give the government 1 watermelon, right? Nah, they can't do that. Why? Because they're going to spoil. Because it's not a store of value. Cryptocurrency, I mean, Bitcoin specifically is a store of value, and gold is a store of value. So that's what they're looking for. That's why they want to tax it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and Bitcoin, they have officially labeled it. It moved from they just moved it from a capital gains tax class to commodities, just so you guys know. Also, too, the word on the street, but I've been saying this for a long time now. We've been saying this on the show for about 2 months now. It's time to get your money off these exchanges. These exchanges are freezing. They're not letting people get their money. They're freezing it. So these exchanges are really, really disappointing their bases. So if you buy crypto on Coinbase, KuCoin, Crow, whatever exchanges you're using, immediately like put it in your wallet immediately. Like, so I just moved. I had like not too much money on my Coinbase and my Coinbase Pro. I didn't have too much on there, but I moved about like 60% of it off just this week because I was like, I got to start moving it off these exchanges. So that's the word to the wise. Move. If you have any money in your exchanges, put it in your wallet because the exchanges are definitely going to take your money if it ever gets to it. So that's my 10 cents. In terms of what Moo said about the government. So I was at this Atlanta blockchain. Every week I go to their classes. They have classes on Thursdays or whatever. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but whatever. And there's a lot of people there. So I was talking to this dude and he was an older guy. And he was like, I won't really get into it until, well, 2 things is funny because he was like, oh, I'm not going to invest. When Ethereum goes to 1,000, like I'll buy it. This is last week.
That might be Michi's uncle.
I know.
I don't want to get into it.
I was like, Ethereum is at 1,000. And I feel like I just know so much shit. And I feel bad because I'm like, am I supposed to keep my mouth shut about everything I know? Because I know so much shit. And it seems to bother people when I tell them, like, yo, Ethereum's at 1,000. Like, you can buy it now. Like, and he kept saying, well, I'm going to buy it at 1,000. I'm like, Ethereum is literally at 1,000 right now, you know? And then he was like, when it gets regulated, I'll feel more comfortable getting in. So it's interesting because there's just a divide. And he's an older guy. So it's just like, you know, we're basically risk takers and we're taking a lot of risk. But the masses will not, just so you know, the older generation is not going to really get into it until it gets regulated by the government, which is understandable because it will cut down on the rug pulls. So the rug pulls only deepen the need for regulation. But there's something going on because before the government was kind of okay with crypto, but now they're just lambasting it. So just be careful about reading news articles about how crypto is doing so terribly because you guys, 2 years ago, crypto
doing what it's supposed to do. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to do.
Crypto was at $7,000 2 years ago. So if you would have bought crypto 2 years ago and just sat on it, your markup.
Jorge, have a good night.
Who's that? I can't.
Now Jorge's got to bounce. He got to do some things.
Crypto has jumped by about 250% since 2020, 2019. Name me stocks that have done that. Name me the stocks who have gone from, in 2 years, have gone from $7,000 to 20-something thousand.
Yeah, you can't, of course.
So
that's why, it's like hip hop, like we always say. Nobody believed in hip hop, so nobody's gonna believe in crypto. Now that hip hop's all on the Billboard charts, that's when the guy you're talking to want to invest in it. No, we telling you, get down with KRS-One right now. So I'm telling you, get down with Chuck D, son. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. You know, we can't save the world. All we can do is say, this new thing that's going on, we really believe in it. It's worth the risk. Just like gold. Imagine us digging up gold 5,000 years ago. And we like, yo, look at this shiny little thing. This thing is all right, yo. You're like, nah, I don't want that, yo. Give me that rock over there. You know what I'm saying? Nah, take the gold. It's the same exact thing. We're at the beginning of this beautiful movement, is what I say. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I agree. So just basically, we only have about 10 minutes left in the show. If you guys have questions, please ask your questions, whether it's how to buy Bitcoin, how to do, what exchanges, what wallets we should use, just basic questions. Please ask us. Moo, did you do your homework?
Yeah.
Did you do your homework? Do you remember what our
What
homework
was
was last week?
No. What was it?
Send Bitcoin to somebody that you care about that just isn't.
I ain't doing homework. Nope. My cousin just asked me for some money too, but she needed cash. She needed fiat. She wouldn't know what to do with Bitcoin.
Well, you could send her like cash and then like $5 of Bitcoin.
I'm gonna send her some $5 of Bitcoin. She like, what the hell to do with this, cousin? But you're right.
So as a former teacher, I did my homework, and I sent one of my one of the people I love the most in the world a little Bitcoin just to get her started. She's open to Bitcoin. She wasn't against Bitcoin, but she's open to it. So I sent her like, I think $10 in Bitcoin or something like that. And then I sent my mother Bitcoin. So my mother just doesn't understand. And I did it through the Cash App. So yeah, I did it through the Cash App. I was just like, okay, my mom texted me and she goes, Kamari, when am I supposed to do this? I think you sent me some Bitcoin. What am I supposed to do with it? I said, accept it. So
send it to Mu Gutter.
So I sent it to my mom. I sent it to my good friend. So I did my homework. So what we ask you guys to do is, we know that in a lot of cases, our community is sometimes just, we've been scammed a lot. And I was reading something on Facebook and they were like, oh, why do we always think everything's a scam? And that's a hindrance to us as a community. I'm like, because our community gets scammed a lot. Like, we get scammed. So please stop acting like we're just this bad community that just comes up with these things because we just don't know no better. No, we've been scammed. Look at Dr. Umar. There's so many scams, right? So just be gentle. And so it costs nothing to send $5, $10 to somebody who may not understand Bitcoin, and just be like, yo, I'm gonna send it from the Cash App, because you can send Bitcoin through the Cash App. All right, that's my 2 cents. We got you guys. If you have questions, ask. We only got about 5 minutes left before we wrap this up.
I want to shout out some top. I only vouch for Bitcoin, but I know y'all want to flip some money. So my Web3 coins. Grab some Polkadot right now. That's DOT. You can grab some Helium right now. My man Mines Helium. That's HNT. Theta, I had my eye on that a long time. That's THETA. Live Peer, had my eye on that for a while. LPT. And then Rweave, that's AR. Those are some of my top Web3 coins, because Web3 is popping right now.
Yeah.
As we speak, Web3 exists. We just don't know about it because they don't talk about it. Yeah.
If you want to get on Web3, you can do so through Opera browser. You can download Brave browser to get Web3. If you want to buy some domains on Web3, you can do Unstoppable Domains or ENS. .ENS. So those are the ways you can get on Web3. I have like 12 domains on Web3. I'm just waiting it out. And yeah. And so so I was going to say, if you guys don't know, does anybody not know how to buy Bitcoin on the Cash App? And then also too, we need to do a survey move, like send people surveys so they can tell us what they want to see more of from us, you know, like what they want to see more about, what they want us to talk more about, or if they have questions or what have you. So, yeah, we need to do surveys and stuff. Why are you talking Moo? You're so funny.
Nah, Michi's hit me. She's totally here for it. As soon as she's done with an unplanned shift, she's all in. Unplanned alignment of the planets. You know what I mean? Right. Full moon coming July 12th, Michi. Watch out for that full moon July 12th.
Yeah, we gotta.
Other than that, grab some USDC. That's the only stable coin I'm going to vouch for. Tether, USDT. It's cool too. They neck and neck. Pepsi and Coke. The only one I vouch for also is the USDC, because it's actually backed by something, where Tether isn't backed 100%. USDC is actually literally backed by, for every $1 they have like collateral in the form of a bond or something like that. You know, it's like temporary bonds. So, but that's it, because the stable coins, I know people talk about it, but and after the whole Terra Luna fiasco, they're trying to crush the stable coins. And remember, they're only trying to crush the stable coins so the banks, the countries with central banks could come in and make their own coin and say, hey, this is regulated. This is FDIC insured. You can trust it. I forgot, somebody put on just like how Voyager just collapsed and somebody else just collapsed. And now that they won't respect the FDIC insurance, which is bullshit. Insurance is insurance. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. It's still like a new game. The laws ain't fit yet. So anyway, if anybody talks to you about stable coins, just say, I only fuck with USDC. Period.
So I'll say that I bought a little maker about 2 weeks ago, and it's been doing pretty well for me. I wait until Bitcoin drops. I don't buy. If I'm about to buy and Bitcoin is like, if I see Bitcoin going up, if I see green, or I don't buy. Okay, I buy when I see red. Okay, so when I see red, that means everything's going down. That's when I buy. So I bought Maker. Maker's been doing pretty good for me, or what have you. So that's the only recent coin that I've kind of really bought, except for what LCX, which is what one of the is a D-Dub. He recommended that LCX or whatever, so I bought that. But Maker is the only coin I bought thus far. I always buy Bitcoin and a little Ethereum. Like every week I buy a little Bitcoin, a little Ethereum. I was gonna say too that so this is my theory, and my theories are like 85% correct, right? So what's going on is that the US government is trying to slow down like people's so they're saying that the crypto world is like the .com boom. So during the .com, there was like so many companies that just came out, and only certain companies stood the test of time, like Amazon, Google, things like that. The same thing is going to happen, they say, in crypto and Web3. There's going to be a ton of companies like Celsius, Nexo, Crow, like all these exchanges, but there's only going to be a certain ones that make it through, right? The government cannot catch up to crypto yet. It's moving so fast and it's changing all the time, and the government can't catch up. So what they're doing is, because they can't catch up, they're hating on it or what have you, because they can't move as fast as crypto is developing and changing. So please be careful about what you're reading in the media and the news, because the government cannot keep up with crypto. So therefore they're trying to slow down the mining. They're trying to figure out ways to stop it, but they can't keep up with it. What I mean by they can't keep up with it is that apparently they can't get their central digital banking systems up in time. So they're trying to create a CBDC, which is like their own digital coins, but they can't get it up and running in time to get it passed through the governments and the Congress and all that stuff as fast as the other currencies are just taking off, right? So because they can't do that, they're trying to ban stuff, slow things down, get rid of mining or whatever. It's so, just so you know, that they can't keep up with the pace. And once they figure it out and they try to, it's just changed all over again. So just understand that that's what's happening.
Oh yeah, I love it. They can't stop us. Only we stop us believing the hype. Don't believe the hype.
Don't believe the hype. Yeah.
So Web3 is happening now, y'all. Just remember, Facebook and all that. Look at Cambridge Analytica. Facebook and all of that steal all our data. In Web3, we can sell our own data and get money. That's Web3. Soon, down the line, maybe in 2023, maybe a Christmas present, I'm going to tell you about Web 4. Web 4 is already in the works, okay? Web 4, imagine a web that connects all mobile devices in real and virtual world, real time. Now you have a computer actually talking to you the same way we're talking to each other right now. Computers are actually just like spitting some ideas out to you. That's part of Web 4 that's going on right now. And they're inventing it right now. So while our people don't even know what Web 3 is, they're already working on Web 4. So we'll talk about that later. Just know this technology is moving rapidly. Like Krypto K just said, it's moving too fast for them to keep up with. You think these old fogies know? And they always on vacation. Our U.S. Congress, they're on vacation. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? So they can't do what we do.
And they're just older, and they just can't grasp the technology, and nor do they want to. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
They just can't grasp. Just remember that crypto, okay, if you guys want to know what's going on, they have just trashed El Salvador to let me not even say that. They have trashed them so badly, right? But El Salvador 4 days ago just bought the dip, okay? But El Salvador's value in Bitcoin just dropped by 63%. but they still believe in it enough to buy 80. I think they bought 80,000 more Bitcoins. Okay, so guys, just know that like the countries, more countries are going to move once they see El Salvador and is the Republic of Congo, I don't know, Central Africa. Once they start seeing them successful, they're going to buy more Bitcoin. The IMF is now refusing to give loans to countries that are trying to use Bitcoin as its currency. Okay, so just peep it, like just understand what's, and they'll say because it's volatile and all these different things.
Oh, because criminals use it.
But they don't say that about
criminals use fiat too.
Yeah, they say criminals use it.
Criminals use diamonds.
Stop falling
not
for this.
that.
Stop falling for this stuff. Like, yeah, like, oh, it's like people can steal. They're doing it anyway. So they could always say to them, hey, you guys, because
Shout out to Ali North starting a crack cocaine war in LA. Like, come on, they've been doing it.
And they don't say this about them buying stocks, and the stocks are horrible right now. So they could always say, hey, listen, we'll lend to you, but you can only buy this much Bitcoin. But they don't say that. They don't say, hey, you can, we'll restrict it. So just understand that, like, this is just a game changer. It is going to take a couple generations for us to really see how Bitcoin has impacted the world. But just know that we are definitely part of a revolution of finance. And yeah, and so like just get your kids and your grandkids and your great-grandkids right.
I only invest to give it to my grandkids, my great-great-grandkids who I'll never meet. That's why I'm on. That's why I'm glad we're able to record this so they can watch it one day.
Yeah, that's true. And also too, love you, my great-great-grandkids, and when y'all watching this. Also too, Tesla, not Tesla, Google's about to stock split. So there's a Google, I invested in this company for a long time because it actually sponsors Elon Musk's SpaceX exploration, which is creating a lot of money. So it's called Alphabet, and it's a subsidiary of Google. It's called Alphabet.
Yeah, that's the stock. Google stock is Alphabet. Yep.
It's a stock, and it's about to do a stock split. So right now it's worth about $2,200. I buy fractional shares on Cash App of it. But it's about to split so into like $200. I think it's a 20-to-1. So if it's 20-to-1, it's going to be about $112 or so, right? So go ahead and buy some of the fractional shares on Cash App right now because they expect it to go up. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. Don't ever invest more than you can afford not to lose. But just a stock tip, Alphabet, which is a subsidiary of Google, Alphabet also invests in SpaceX. It is going to do a stock split, which means that instead of being $2,200, it'll split by 20. So you just divide 20 into whatever it costs right now. And that's how much it's going to be retail. So it makes it a lot more affordable. So when Tesla did their stock split, Tesla actually boomed. Like they went up by like a couple thousand once they did their stock split. So please just look up Alpha. There's also an app called Seeking Alpha that talks all about crypto and stocks too. It's called Seeking Alpha. It's free. You can download it. I mean, they have perks that you charge for, but it tells you all about stocks as well. That's it. That's my 25 cents.
All right. Nice 25 cents. Give you 50 for it. Yeah.
Give me some Bitcoin.
Last thing I'll say, I want y'all to look up building on the Web 4 thing real quick because humans and robots will be like best friends. Look up Google AI is sentient. They created a robot who is sentient, saying they have consciousness. They have awareness. They experience emotions. Just look that up because that's going to be our kids' best friend, these fucking robots they're inventing right now. Now, sentient, when you say you have consciousness, that means you have a soul. I could agree with you being aware, but a soul is different. But right now, they, like I said, they doing all stuff for our kids to like follow that. So then our kids gonna be like, ain't no God. You know what I mean? We all conscious. This robot they just think is conscious. So
yeah, y'all need to get this called, what is it called? The meaning crisis. A lot of people are having a meaning crisis, and that's why there's anxiety, depression, and stuff in our kids. That's because we're moving a lot away from church and God. I'm not saying go to church or anything like that or Buddhist temple, but I do feel like you need to get with something spiritual, whether that's just going out to nature and sitting with it, whether it's going to a Buddhist temple, whether it's going to a mosque, whether it's going to church. You all need to start to reconnect your kids to some type of spiritual element because they're lost out here. That's why they're shooting up people having anxiety, depression, mental health, because they're not being connected to something of purpose and character.
All right. That's it, man. Take us out. All things crypto and a lot more, obviously.
All things crypto. Detroit become human. What does that mean? C9000 Godchild. Oh, he said Detroit.
Nah, Godchild's just mad. Godchild been talking about AI and C9000 all night. Don't worry about it. He's just mad. Take us out.
Well, then that's right up his alley. Listen, y'all, if you want your kids to learn code, it's much better for them to fight a war against robots if they know code. Code.org. So go to code.org. Your kids can get on and learn coding for free. Anyway, all things crypto every Wednesday. We are unapologetically teaching it to our Black American ADOS community, but all people are welcome. But we definitely want our communities to rise up. We have spent so much time building this land up with our blood, sweat, and tears to be disrespected constantly by everybody who comes here. So we want to give our free game to each other. Make sure that you educate each other. Send your people Bitcoin and get on this crypto bandwagon and everything like that. We love you guys. Every Wednesday, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time with Mu Gutter and me, Nem Superstar, aka Krypto K. And Godchild is gonna let us know when the AI start to attack. So
I hope so. They might take him out first. Nah,
I know, right, Godchild, you better be careful.
Godchild, build that bunker, fam. We out, man. Read the white paper, y'all. Love y'all.
Love y'all.